Hey, Comic Con Africa fans, and welcome back to another episode of CONverse with Comic Con Africa. I'm your host, Jordan Crossley, and today I've got a very special guest. His name is Victor Botha, and he's worked on a very special movie. He was a Death Trooper on Star Wars Rogue One. Hey, Victor, how's it going?
Hey, it's good. Yeah, nice to meet you, and thanks for having me.
So, Victor, quickly before I open up the rest of the questions, what's it like living in the UK, so close to Star Wars studios, and what are your experiences there?
Well, it's different from living in South Africa, obviously. Before, when I first came here, I had to get used to the long days of the summer. I arrived there. The first day I arrived there, it was 10 o'clock at night, and it was still light. And now I was wondering, is my watch set the right time or what? But yeah, it's getting used to this. And even with the when you do filming days in the summer, it's nice because you can do nice long days. The director is really happy with that.
Cool, man. So tell us the story. How did you land the role of Death Trooper in Star Wars Rogue One? Yeah,
I'll When I left school in South Africa, I came straight over to the UK just to do some traveling and everything like that. But for initially, I was planning to stay here for 2 years, travel, work, make some money, go back home. But eventually, I stayed here, and when my visa ran out, only way I could stay here was joining the British Army. So
Ooh,
I joined up in 2003. It was, and I served in the army for about 12 years. I went to Afghanistan, Iraq, and did a few tours in some other places like Norway, America, Kenya, stuff like that. And yeah, well, when I finished the army, I decided I wanted to change of life a bit, and my wife signed me up to one of these agencies for extras. And the first thing that came up was Star Wars. Initially, I didn't know it was Star Wars because they have a code name for all of the stuff, so it's all top secret and everything. So they just asked me to go for audition at Pinewood Studios, and when I turned up there was probably about another 10 guys was in military uniform as well. They obviously wanted guys with some military experience to do the role because the Death Trooper was a bit more experienced and more elite than the Stormtroopers. So they wanted a bit more experience in firearms and, firing maneuvers and stuff like that. And yeah, that's how I got the role.
sure. So you're an experienced Death Trooper essentially. So yeah, that's awesome. How did it feel working on set for the first time?
It was scary, eh? Because I'm just a guy from a free state. I served in the army over here, and I'm walking on the stage for the first time with all these actors and famous people and everything. So it was a bit nerve-wracking, but especially with the first scene. I've told the story so many times, but the scene was dark, and the first time we've had this helmet on from a Death Trooper, you can hardly see anything. You got blind spots all over the place. You only got a little visor like that, so it was very difficult. And the first scene was walking up this set of stairs behind Director Krennic as
Yeah.
his escort going into his control room. And probably the first three goes, we all tripped over the stairs. We couldn't see down there, so it was a few retakes.
Sure. But yeah, that sounds quite nerve-wracking and also like scary to be in this dark armor and this dark set, especially with Krennic of all people.
Yeah, yeah, he had a presence around him.
Oh, really? Actually, would you like to tell us more about that? Did he like really get into the role? And like, did you feel that presence of like a moth in your presence, I suppose?
Yeah, well, when he was obviously offset and he was talking to us and all that, he'll seem like a normal Aussie guy, and making jokes, and and he's one of the ones that normally talk to us and say in the morning, good morning. We're just extras here doing a job, and he would go out his way to talk to us and make sure we're all happy. But yeah, when he went into the role, you could see how his presence and his attitude changed, and he's all serious, and he did a good role.
Awesome. And then you mentioned some other celebrities. Who are some of the other celebrities that you saw on your first day?
On the first day was mostly just Krennic, and obviously the Moff Tark. Is it Moff Tarkin? Sorry, I don't. Like I
Yeah,
said before, I've never watched Star Wars films before I went on this movie, so I didn't know anything about Star Wars until I went on there and I
sure.
started watching the films and everything. So he was Moff Tarkin was there in the first scene, but it was obviously a different guy.
Mm,
They made his face with
CGI'd it.
CGI and all that stuff. Yeah, and that was quite interesting as well because this guy is walking around with all cameras mounted on his neck and dots all over his face and everything. It's like something you've never seen before. And guys, I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was just like an alien or something walking around. And everyone told me no, he's going to have a different face in the movie. So that was quite an experience. And yeah, Jen Urso, she was quite good as well.
Sure.
And I didn't really meet her, but we were in loads of the same scenes. Yeah, so you have to contain yourself a little bit and not get too nervous when you're around him.
We've never seen any bloopers from Star Wars. Are there any behind the scenes bloopers or moments that you can tell us about that were kind of funny? Yeah.
Well, probably the most funniest ones would have been on Scarif, on the beach scene, where we had that fight scene over there. Because at first we had to jump out of the aircraft. I don't know if the platform where we jump into the water. And when you look at it from far away, this platform doesn't look that high. But as soon as they start action, and they had this massive fan blowing air from behind us to simulate the downdraft from the aircraft, and that went on, so you can't hear anything. Yeah, you can't see anything in the first place with your vision. It's restricted from down here, and you have to judge where the edge of the platform is so you can jump off into the water. Few guys, I think I was third in the line, and the first guy fell down, so we had to do it all over again. And once again, there was a few falls there, but yeah, that was a bit scary, especially when you that much restricted. You've got so much restriction in a costume because it's all plastic, and you can't really bend your arms, you can't really bend your legs, and when you jump off, some of the armor plate will pop off, and then you have to start all over again. So yeah, it was exciting. And then eventually, when we made it to the beach and we started fighting the rebellion, we had this firing scene when we were shooting all the time in this ditch next to the exploded aircraft to our left, and we had to retreat. And when we were retreating, there was obviously a lot of dead rebellion behind us. And when we were retreating, we weren't allowed to turn around, so you had to keep shooting forward and walk backwards. And once again, I was stepping on the rebellion guys, and they're not dead. So when you step on them, they shout and scream, you're stepping on my hand, you're stepping on this. And and you have to try and act all natural and elite. But yeah, it wasn't happening.
Sure. Yeah. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, my next question is kind of gonna lead on from the previous question. So how are death troopers different to stormtroopers, and are they at least smarter and have better aim than normal stormtroopers?
Well, I would hope we have better aim because we were all, ex-military guys. So, and we were supposed to be elite. When we got picked for the role, we all had to be 6'4" or above. That's 196 or 197 centimeters. So we had to be tall and stood out above them to make us look a bit more elite as well. And yeah, so we must be different, and a lot of our shots counted. So I'm the one who shot Cherut, the blind guy with a stick.
Oh, that
So
was
yeah, so
you.
yeah,
Oh my gosh. Be
and I got
careful.
him with the first shot. So
Yeah, some
yeah,
fans might not be so happy about that. Some fans on the
yeah, no,
rebellion side. Cool.
yeah,
But I suppose also, like, for most stormtroopers, if they have to wear that kind of armor that, as you said, is constantly falling off and like you're constantly tripping over, that might explain why some stormtroopers have bad aim. It's like a
that's it.
meme
Yeah.
on social media and everywhere. Like, why do stormtroopers suck so badly?
It pinches you everywhere. You know, it was so horrible. The first week of wearing that armor was horrendous. You know, we couldn't, yeah, chafing under your arms, you know, on your legs, behind your knees. The first week was the most uncomfortable ever. But then, luckily, even sitting down was hard because you're trying to find a position where you can be comfortable. Because when you put that costume on at 6 o'clock in the morning, you are not taking it off until 6 o'clock at night unless you have a toilet break. They don't even want you to take it off.
Whoa.
So you have to go for a toilet break. Someone has to dress you, undress you, because you can't reach the places where it's all tied up and clipped in and everything. So it's a big mission. And when the director decides to use you on that day, you know, you have to be ready straight away. And we some days we weren't even used. So you're just sitting there all day in this armor, sitting around, you know, and the director is doing different scenes or whatever, but you have to be there just in case he wants to use you.
Sure.
Yeah. Luckily, after a week or so, it started getting a bit more comfortable.
Cool. So yeah, I suppose walk us through your day while acting on Star Wars.
um, there was quite a few different days. So we were shooting at Pinewood Studios, and at Pinewood Studios there is loads of different studios. So we had a scene where we were in a control room of a spaceship. We were on a scene where it was like a landing platform where it was raining loads, where we killed all the scientists, and then we were in Iceland. So getting ready in all of those different places at the studios, getting ready is nice. You're inside a building where every single death trooper has someone that dresses them. So you're standing there for about 40 minutes, getting all this armor put on you, and then they have to hide it as well. So you have to wear a cloak while we're walking from studio to studio because the death trooper was obviously the first time death trooper was in a movie,
Mm.
so no one was allowed to see it or had sneak previews of it or nothing. So we had to hide it after every scene. um, so after you get ready, going to the studios, you sit around and wait for a director's call, and that's it. And scenes, shooting a scene can take a long time, because some of the scenes that be in a movie for like in a movie, the time of the scene will be like maybe 20 seconds, and it will probably take about 2 or 3 days to shoot that 20 seconds.
Sure.
It takes a while, yeah.
Sure.
If you look at the scene on Scarif, I don't know how long it is in the movie, but we did that for 2 weeks. So it takes a while.
Sure. Okay. Something to keep in mind if any of our fans want to audition for a Star Wars part. If you if you could have kept any of the props from the film, what would it have been?
Uh, Probably most important, my helmet. That would have been a nice thing to keep, but yeah, impossible to take anything from there or keep anything. And second, probably one of my blasters, because that would have been a nice memory to have had. You know, we carried that thing around like our baby, and yeah, to keep it with you all the time. And yeah, it was good. It was nice. It would have been nice to have that. but luckily there's experienced people at the moment who makes these things, and they make it correct to the movie as well. Like, these guys are really good. They can replicate all this stuff, and it's very nice to have people like that around. And if you want some of the stuff, you can have it.
So would you ever get like one of the cosplayers or someone from our artist alley at Comic-Con to make you a replica of your blaster to kind of keep with you?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, at the moment I've got a guy making me a helmet. So he's from Germany, and they're making the first one. So the first one they're gonna make is gonna come to me. So I'm happy I'm gonna get that one.
Whoa, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
That's
it's gonna be
awesome.
great. Yeah.
So there was quite a bit of press coverage on you after you got the role. How did it suddenly feel being in the spotlight here in SA?
If it felt well, I got family messaging me, and I had long lost friends that I used to have here in the UK as well, and they moved back to South Africa, saw me in a newspaper, and was sending me messages and everything, and I just couldn't believe it. I felt it felt strange. Like I said before, I'm just a guy from the Free State in the farm, and here I am in a movie being a death trooper. Has never been in any Star Wars movies, and I'm in a newspaper in South Africa, so it was really great experience, and nice to have that feeling of feeling very important.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we want to see your best performance without the mask. Can you say a line from the film in character?
I don't know if I can do that. I'm not really an actor, but I can tell you some of my favorite lines was obviously from Because I Killed Chirrut. I always heard him saying, the force is with me, and I am the force. So that was one of the ones I always remember. And a funny one from him was when they tried to blindfold him, and he said, "Are you kidding me? I'm blind. Why are you blindfolding me?" Yeah. So yeah, that was quite funny.
That's cool. And then yeah, so what's next for you, Vic? Do you have any more roles in the pipeline that you can tell us about, or yeah, just what's special happening in your life?
Well, like I said, when I left the army, I wanted I wanted to do something different, start something new. So after the movie, I probably did a few more stuff, a few things, being an extra in some TV series and stuff like that. Nothing really major, but I started my career in carpentry and joinery. So I'm on the path to being my own boss and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully one day I'll get to work on some nice scenes and do some carpentry on nice movie scenes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so it's been great chatting to you, Vic. And from a Star Wars fan myself, I think I'm blushing a bit to actually see someone who's worked on the film and has had such close hand experiences with it. So yeah, I think if any of our CCA fans want to get hold of you and ask you any questions, would they be allowed to? And where can they reach out to you?
Yes, of course. Everyone feel free to ask me any questions, any information about the film. So loads of people ask me, how can you become an extra on a film and get a role on any films? And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, so feel free to message me. I always answer back.
Awesome.
And if they want any autographs, photos or anything like that, I'll sign them and I'll send them off.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Vic, sorry, what are your social handles just so that people can find them? We
Let
will
me
put
have a
them,
second.
yeah, we
Oh
will put
no.
them in the video content. But yeah, if you could just say it out there.
Yeah, so it's my Instagram is Botha official Death Trooper. So that's
Oh,
on Instagram because obviously there's a lot of Death Trooper stuff happening there. And that's the one I mainly answer to and have questions on and so on. So feel free to get me on Instagram.
awesome. So yeah, you guys, you heard it from Vic. If you have any questions about becoming a stormtrooper, death trooper, or working on Star Wars films or just films in general, feel free to hit Vic up at Vic Botha official death trooper. I forgot that. Yeah, awesome.